it's Dave from POV Drives, and today we're taking the Audi S4, my 2022, on a little bit of a morning errand. We have 2 stops to make. We have to make a book return, and we have to pick up some groceries. So I just figured kind of give some impressions on like what a typical morning drive, about 10-15 miles, half-hour driving would be like in my daily driver. It's about 30 degrees out, feels like 20. It's pretty chilly. Just take a quick little look on my Audi S4. Almost 40,000 miles in it. Still looks pretty good, a little dirty, but everything's been holding up super nice. 40,000 mile service coming up. But let's get inside. I want to show you guys the blue with the black optics package. Blacks out things like the door and the grille. First, we'll fire it up for a cold start. Always makes just a nice, tasteful ruckus in the morning on my way to work, or in this case, on a Saturday morning at 8:48. Sorry, neighbors who are trying to sleep in. Anyways, let's get these heated seats going. I like to do around like a level 2. Get the air going, and heated steering wheel. It's not the coldest feeling in the morning. It's not very windy, and I just got out of a warm shower after working out, so I'm a little bit warm to begin with. So our first stop is Giant, and we are going to pick up some items for baking, some cookies, as well as some snacks while we're baking, because what is more American than baking and eating at the same time to then eat said baked goods? I'm also making a return. I like to buy books on Amazon. Sorry, local libraries, but it's just very easy to find options, order them, read them, and return them for a full refund. But this book, All the Colors of the Dark, it loves story with a little bit of unique twists, and involves a serial killer and a missing person mystery. Pretty cool, pretty emotional story, ended pretty well. So I was a big fan. And now I'm on to the next one. Let's get our CarPlay set up. We'll take a look around my interior. Awesome red leather seats have held up pretty well in terms of damage, and they're a little bit wrinkled in some spots, as you'd expect from leather, but they're super clean. I try to keep this interior relatively clean. Back seats look pretty nice as well. Only Milo sits back there and he sits on a blanket. And we got our sunroof open. I like to keep that open in the winter to kind of let some solar warmth in. I don't know if my phone's having issues connecting. Anyways, let's get on the road. Hopefully my wireless CarPlay wakes up. So, one of the things I think is important to talk about when driving on an early morning or on a morning commute is the warm-up cycle in a car. It is nice that Audi gives you an oil temperature gauge, so I can check the oil temps before I lay into the throttle. Plus, part of the tachometer is kind of covered in red, means the red line has been lowered. So don't push your engine like a monkey. But the car does warm up pretty quickly. The heated seats, heated steering wheels do turn on decently fast. And once the transmission has like 5 minutes of driving, it does smooth out some of those first to second shifts. But I imagine most cars have some kind of a warm-up clunkiness, unless of course you're talking about like a hybrid or something. In this case, my phone won't connect to CarPlay. I despise this sometimes. Nothing gets me more annoyed than CarPlay that doesn't want to connect, but I think in this case it's probably not going to. I have this issue more often than I want to with my wireless CarPlay. There's just a little bit of quirks in this car when it comes to like technology and some of the usability, like the cup holders. I'll do a full video on like things I really don't like about this car. Those are definitely my 2 biggest grievances, and they are minor grievances because the car excels 99.9% of the time otherwise. One thing I do like driving in the cold is at low speeds, the exhaust really kind of kicks, makes like a good sound. Really kind of gives it a nice big boom. It's not obnoxious, but it sounds more defined when the exhaust is cold. I have to imagine to do with like maybe the metal components haven't expanded fully, so they're kind of like shoving sound through a tight corner. But anyways, getting onto the highway, it is a shame that we live so close to the highway and my car never warms up, so I can't have a nice spirited entrance onto the highway. But getting up to speed, 68, 69, 70, we're golden here. It's already warm in the car. I'm gonna drop the fan speed. And really just this car, where we live, there are a lot of like kind of these interstates to get to things, which is why I really like that, because I hate sitting in like town traffic because people just don't know how to drive. People aren't paying attention, they're on their phones, and it just causes a lot of backup. And with cars getting bigger and stuff, I feel like there's just more congestion in parking lots, on street parking, around town. Like people are just kind of like not able to maneuver as well. Maybe that's just me being a hater of big cars, but on these highways, it's super nice to just kind of cruise at 70 plus miles an hour. I mean, this highway does get plenty of traffic, don't get me wrong. Check out my 2022 Audi new commute video with my new job, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. My frustration extends to the highway too. But honestly, anywhere I've lived, New Jersey, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, it's just driving is not people's forte. This is also kind of like the best time to be on the road. I feel like I like a good Sunday morning where I sleep in a little bit, you know, maybe go to bed at like 10-ish, wake up at like 7-ish, get a workout in, have my coffee, and then maybe run a couple of errands, you know, where there's nothing really to do in terms of going places, but there's a couple things to do in terms of like around town and stuff. So I do have the car in auto mode. We can program comfort, or we have comfort, auto, dynamic mode, and individual, which adjusts things. Or the drive modes kind of adjust your throttle response, suspension, your steering, and engine sound. I do like auto just because I don't really feel difference between the drive modes. Maybe a little bit more stiffer on the rebound with dynamic. And we're already at our exit, but you can see the tachometer has given more of the red line away. We still don't have, I like to wait for like a little bit of the oil temp to like be present on this meter before I start like getting into boost and the higher RPMs. I mean, sometimes you have to do what you have to do, but I'm never just flooring it on a cold engine and less than ideal oil temperatures. I wish this car had an engine temperature gauge, so you know what the temperature of the engine is versus the oil. And I do feel like the oil temperature gauge takes a little bit to kind of display, you know, if it says 140, it's probably been 140 for a bit now. I feel like it's not the most. Oh geez, my hands are on fire, this heated steering wheel. Now, will I be socially adept and bring my camera into the grocery store? I don't know. You'll find out very shortly based on how I edit this video, but I'm actually gonna make my return first. Amazon returns for free at Kohl's. You can also do Whole Foods, and there's like one other option, but this Kohl's is the closest, and you wouldn't see me ever stepping foot into Whole Foods. Yeah, not bringing in the camera for this one. Throw it to park, and we'll see you guys in a bit. I've probably asked Nicole 100 times what Kohl's and Macy's sells, and I still don't know what it sells. You know, I always liked having that BMW X5 with the V8 because I'd always remote start it and like kind of blast myself with a nice exhaust cold start. But Audi doesn't give you factory remote start, so can't do that here. So I have to be a peasant and listen to my engine in the car, press the button like the old school days. Well, not even button, but start the car from inside like the old school. So nice thing about these Kohl returns, if I actually knew what they sold, is you do get a 20% off. But pretty much it's so easy. You just kind of you bring back your item. You don't need packaging or anything, and you give them return code and they box it and ship it for free. They give you the tracking, they give you that 20% off to steal more of your money that you just refunded. But I don't know, it's been super nice. It would make more sense to go to a library and support local businesses, but sorry, I don't want to say I don't have time, but I don't have time. I am gonna get a lot of flack from readers, but oh well. Anyways, Giant's right over there, so I know it's like silly, but I do have a couple items to grab, so I don't feel like walking with them in the cold. Man, I'm really exuding my laziness today. I turn the stop start off 99% of the time now, especially in these kind of like parking lot situations, because it does trigger pretty liberally. So oh, there's a Santa on top of that truck. Oh, that's cute. Look at that. That's nice. I love the holiday joy. Guy's giving me a look that I have a camera on my head. Will I need a cart? I don't know. Alright, I will not be bringing the camera in because, maybe I will. I don't know. But I'll see you guys in a bit. Definitely going to need a cart. Getting one of those pretzel trays, and that is very difficult to carry and automatically disqualifies. Well, it's kind of crazy how all this is $26, but it's because it's all, you know, processed baking goods. The celery and carrots are actually my idea, because I'm like, we're making all of these snacks and they're gonna be super unhealthy, so we might as well get some carrots and celery. And with that being said, all of our groceries are done, so let's head home. As you can see, I'm averaging 16.8 mpg. Haven't really driven too far. This car does get about 21 in the city, 30 on the highway. And I've been averaging 26. So with the short distance and the warm cycle, like, I haven't really gotten the advertised numbers. This car is pretty fuel efficient on the highway though. Backup camera, 360 camera, super nice to have in parking situations. Even if I just did kind of go over those lines, there's not a car there, I would have done some damage. My CarPlay works. So when the CarPlay does work, it boots right up before the car even, you know, pulls away. And it's decently responsive. I don't know, sometimes though, like the interface, like especially putting destinations, I just pull out my phone, and which isn't a best practice, but like I'm looking for a specific address, or I don't know exactly where I'm going, so I kind of have to search on the map. I try to do it like a stoplight. Let's see if I can show you the stop start. We do have some temperature in that oil, so coming to stop, let's see. Alright, didn't want to. Now that we got some oil temperature, you can start opening up the throttle. I shifted the transmission to S mode, which gives you some sharper upshifts, downshifts, increased throttle response, and opens up the exhaust to make it a little bit louder, and some pops and bangs and stuff, more like pops and burbles, as you just heard on that corner. So also holds the RPMs much higher for shifts, upshifts. We are going to be stuck behind this Jeep, but that's fine. Yeah, S is not a mode I would drive around because it is a little bit jerky. Though I have heard some Audi S4 owners drive in S mode, and hey, drive it like it's meant to be driven, I guess, right? This Jeep is getting onto the highway at an admirable speed. So we definitely have some oil temps, so let's after driving other sports sedans, different engines, inline sixes, natural aspirated V8s, twin turbo V8s, the Audi's exhausts in general are always pretty quiet because they are more tuned for luxury. This does have the sport resonator, which I don't think deletes the front resonator, but it does make it smaller, less insulation, so I think it's a little bit louder. And honestly, that's how the exhaust should come from the factory. I haven't really heard a standard S4, but I like the sound of this, and I think it just, from what I've seen in videos, it does sound noticeably louder and crisper, but not like crazy. But I think this engine sounds good, it just needs more volume. Because with the active exhaust opening the flaps, it does quiet down once you get to D, and at 80 miles an hour, when you're not on the throttle, it's a very warm resonance in the background. There's no drone. And I've always liked those upshift burbles and the downshift pops and stuff. I've settled it on the highway. We're right around 74, 75 miles an hour, and it's cruising. It's good torque on the highway. Kicks down pretty quickly, as you just saw. Plenty of torque, 349 horsepower, maybe like 360 something, 369 pound-feet of torque. I feel like it's more than the horsepower, but I might have gotten those numbers wrong. But yeah, I did take a little bit longer in the grocery store, but I think overall maybe a half hour, 45-minute errand. I got some good stuff. I'm excited to make some good snacks. Go home, make some more coffee, have some breakfast. These are nice Saturdays, just to kind of have some time, you know, to go anywhere crazy far and enjoy some holiday cheer, get some baking done until we introduce our crazy dogs into the situation. So Quattro provides that confidence around a corner. You're never going to really get sideways unless you're absolutely flooring it out of a 90-degree turn, but it'll still kind of plow through the corner and kick the tail out a little bit. I haven't really tried because I just don't really see the point of trying to push this car like that when it's not really. It's more meant to provide confident grip than a mechanical grip, at least. Ooh, fences. Yeah, it's pretty windy here. And we'll let the car calm down. It's nice boost weather, cools down the engine nice and quickly and stuff. No beating up that, oh, turn that off, hold on. No beating up the turbo in this weather. Well, actually, I'm gonna go straight. With that being said, hope everyone enjoyed the video. Want to change something up, give you kind of just like a more interesting video. Get a lot of these videos of the Audi S4 out before, at least I think I'm going to sell it, but you just never know these days with POV drives. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.